What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and we will preview the Real Madrid-Liverpool game in this one, but also we will talk about Liverpool announcing that they are increasing ticket prices for the first time in 8 years, and 2% might not sound that much, but this is, I think, only the beginning of FSG milking the fans dry. And there is already a cost of living crisis in the UK, and I fear that with these ticket price increases, increasingly more and more like young fans and also local fans will be priced out of going to Anfield, and especially young fans not being able to afford going to Anfield will worsen the atmosphere, and that will ultimately worsen, I think, the cauldron that is supposed to be Anfield. And it already has been a major problem in the last 5 to 10 years, that the Anfield's atmosphere, apart from big games and derby games and big Champions League games, is getting worse and worse each year. But if you are going to Anfield regularly, leave your thoughts down below. What do you think about this ticket price increase? Because I want FSG gone. Bayern's former president, Uli Hoeneß, on Bayern's season ticket prices, this is what he said: we could charge more than £104 for a Bayern Munich season ticket. Let's say we charged £300. We would get £2 million more in income. But what's £2 million to us? In a transfer discussion, you argue about that sum for 5 minutes. But the difference between £100 and £300 is huge for a single football fan. We do not think the fans are like cows who you milk. Football has got to be for everybody. That's the biggest difference between us and England. So I think FSG should be very careful with the increase of ticket prices. If it's only 2% and it will stay like this for another 1, 2, 3 seasons, then I'm fine with it. But if they start increasing ticket prices every year by 2% first, and then by 5%, then by 10%, that's when will be very worried that more and more young fans will be forced out of going to Anfield. But let me know, that's just my opinion. Let me know what is yours. This is only the beginning, I think. In the baseball league, where they own Boston Red Sox have the highest ticket prices in the whole league. And I really fear that Liverpool are heading that way. I don't think we will have the highest ticket prices because London clubs will always have higher ticket prices, like Arsenal and Tottenham and Chelsea, but it's a worrying trend. And the statement has said that because there are significant rising costs across the club, Liverpool FC, they have to increase ticket prices. But that's absolute nonsense. This ticket price rise will only mean an additional £2 million of revenue, £2.24 million to be exactly precise. That will not buy Liverpool any player. That will not even buy Liverpool a fraction of a player, and yet the fans will feel this very harshly. They will feel this in their pockets, and I really fear that this is only the beginning, and FSG want to increase ticket prices by 20, 30, 40, 50% in the next 5 to 6 years. And yes, there has been significant inflation, but the fans are already paying a lot of money for, other services and goods at the UK. And Liverpool just posted record revenues. We posted almost £600 million of record revenues. So Liverpool don't need that 2 million. And they don't need to increase the ticket prices. Already, if you want to buy an official Liverpool shirt like this one, it's a huge sum of money. And if there is a family with 2 children, buying them shirts every year will cost an absolute fortune, plus going to the games. So 2% might not sound that much, but I think it is a lot because it's only the beginning, and also because many fans are already struggling to afford to go to games regularly. And Liverpool FC's reasoning is that this is the result of significant rising costs across the club, because in the past 5 years, operating costs for Anfield every year have increased by 40%. The utility costs have gone up by 100% this season, and I think that is a disgrace. The utility companies should be absolutely made to lower their prices. They shouldn't be able to double their prices in 1 year, and that is valid for all the utility companies, not just in the UK, even in my country. The utility prices have gone through the roof. And I think, as I said, because Liverpool already posted 594 million pounds of revenue, yes, that's not profit, but revenue. An additional 2 million is a drop in the ocean. It's absolutely nothing. So why on earth are Liverpool increasing their ticket prices? I can only point to the owners, FSG, and their greed that they want more money from the fans. I mean, if Liverpool could afford to freeze ticket prices for 8 years, why are they increasing the ticket prices now? You have to wonder. And I also hearing that local ticket prices and youth ticket prices, so ticket prices for under 18 like fans, will be frozen still, which is really, really good. And yes, £1 per ticket rise doesn't sound that much, and it's not a lot. And if you can afford, the Anfield ticket right now, you will probably able to afford the £1 ticket increase. But it's a worrying trend. If Liverpool will increase ticket prices every year, then more and more young fans will be priced out, and that's where my fear lies. I really, really don't want young fans to be priced out of going to Anfield. I mean, I live almost 2,000 kilometers from Anfield, so I can't afford to go to Anfield anymore. I was there in 2012, and I also have been to Liverpool games in and around my country when Liverpool play around here. But visiting a Liverpool match at Anfield remains a pipe dream for me. So I can feel for people who can't afford to go to a game at Anfield, because you won't find a much bigger Liverpool fan abroad than myself, and I can't afford to go to Anfield. Of course, if you want to support this channel, then you can click the thanks button below this video. And the owners increasing the ticket prices has been heavily criticized by Liverpool's supporters board, who branded the hike cruel and unreasonable. And I think that's a little bit over the top. I mean, £1 ticket price doesn't seem much. I think what's cruel and unreasonable is the cost of living crisis in the UK. Since they left the EU and since the UK has done the Brexit, I don't want to get into politics. So many things have increased by an incredible margin in the UK. I mean, I'm hearing the utility bills are absolutely crazy. And some people can't even afford to heat their homes, which is absolutely unacceptable. And yet, people are not protesting the utility companies on the streets. There should be absolutely revolution in the UK because of the prices of some things. And now let's preview the Real Madrid-Liverpool game on Wednesday. And I think Liverpool, psychologically, they have a little bit of an easier thing to do, because they just know they have to go all out attack and try to score as many goals as Real Madrid. They don't really have to think too much about, tactics, because, we have to score at least 3 goals to even have a chance of going through. And Ancelotti said that from a psychological level, the match is more complex for Real Madrid than it is for Liverpool. Liverpool come here to give it their all, do their best from the first minute. Whatever happens, we saw that from the first leg. We will try to do all we can from the beginning as well, but we have more questions than the opponent. And Benzema is fit after missing the weekend win over Espanyol, but Vinicius Junior will be the major threat for Real Madrid. And probably part of the reason why Ancelotti does so well against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool is that he always studies Jurgen Klopp's game plan, and he always have countermeasures, and he always tweaks his tactics to counter Jurgen Klopp's tactics. So for Ancelotti, there are rarely surprises from a Jurgen Klopp side because of how similarly Jurgen Klopp plays from game to game. Jurgen Klopp almost always goes with a 4-3-3 with a high right number 8. I mean, the attacking midfielder. He changes mostly only due to fitness, injuries, or keeping the squad involved. The most likely scenario is Liverpool will play the same side that beat Manchester United 7-0, because that side worked absolute wonders against Man United and it has the most firepower, probably. But the problem with that was that Man United got undone by their man marking system and by also sometimes pushing high. Real Madrid don't play like that. Real Madrid play zonal defending, and also the first half against Man United was very, very close until Man United conceded 2 quick goals at the beginning of the second half and they collapsed. That's when Liverpool ran riot with the scoreline. Liverpool could play something of an unorthodox lineup by putting Firmino ahead of the 2 defensive midfielders, Fabinho and Henderson, and Firmino could play as like the attacking midfielder or the false 9, and then we could put Darwin Núñez up front, Gakpo on the left, Mo Salah on the right, and the usual back 4 of Trent, Konate, Van Dijk and Andy Robertson. And that way Gakpo plays in his usual left winger position, Darwin Núñez can hold the ball up but he can also run the channels, Salah on the right in his favorite position, and Bobby Firmino can drop deep, receive the ball and basically dictate play. And that lineup would certainly surprise Ancelotti, and that lineup could have the potential of scoring a lot of goals. Bobby Firmino is actually one of our top scorers, even though he missed like half of the season with injuries. So he's a really potent goal scorer this season. And Núñez, Gakpo and Salah are in really good form. Apart from, of course, the Bournemouth game, they have been scoring goals regularly. There is no point Liverpool holding back and trying all the tactical things to nullify Real Madrid. We have nothing to lose. We should go all out, attack them, put Real Madrid under as much pressure as possible, try to score an early goal, silence the crowd. And who knows, if Liverpool can score 1 or 2 goals in the first half, then the tie could be open. We have nothing to lose. If we get counterattacked after going all out and we lose, so what? We already were out of the Champions League. At least go out fighting. That's my message to the Liverpool players. The main problem is Ancelotti is one of the best managers tactically in the world. So whatever Liverpool will try, Ancelotti will probably spot that in the first like 30 minutes or at least until half time, and he will tweak the tactics, switch the tactics of Real Madrid to adapt to the Liverpool tactics, so we won't be able to dominate the 90 minutes. And I mean, it's required an absolute miracle. Real Madrid only lost to Ajax 4-1 like in 2019, I think, when Liverpool got to the Champions League final. That was their only big loss in Champions League knockout stages for like 30 years. So it shows the magnitude of the task that Real Madrid like almost never lose by a 3-goal scoreline, especially at home and especially in the knockout stages. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think Liverpool have a chance of knocking Real Madrid out? I certainly think we have a small chance, but we should be trying our absolute best. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.